So this is the motivation section for today, Tuesday, the 11th of September. And as I said before, it's a pretty important day in the history of the modern world we live in, simply because 18 years ago today, all those planes crashed into the World Trade Center in New York, and that precipitated a whole bunch of things globally. The world's never been the same since. But today, I was really focused on one thing. So, in one of the devotional things that I take my team through, this particular one is all about why joyful people have the joy that they do, and most of it is in how they think and what their thinking is all about. And it's a whole week-long thing, and it's been taken from Philippians 8. So the Apostle Paul goes into the 8 things you need to think about. But today we were really focused on this one thing called purity. You know, purity is something that evangelical Christians hammer each other with all the time. And you think of purity, you think of things being clean and blameless and spotless, and that's all true. But the really important thing that it's for is singleness of purpose, singleness of motive, singleness of action. And why is that important? And the thing that I see destroying so many Christians and others today is something gets said from a podium, a pulpit, by someone on Facebook sometimes, or some of the other social media. And one of the first things that you hear and see is, so what did they mean by that? And you have to forgive the dogs in the background. They're happy to see me because normally I do this on Tuesday morning, but I've just come home. But I think one of the most destructive things that I see out there is this constant, oh, what do they mean by that? What do they mean by that? Questioning, looking, and that immediately distracts from the purity of motive and the purity of action and the purity of focus. And you get that straight, you get a whole bunch of things straight. So this morning I want to talk about in the motivation section here the whole idea of what I call unconscious competence. So when you start doing something, I mean, like when you get up in the morning and walk, you don't think, well, I'm going to put this foot here and this foot here. You know, you just get up and walk. You know, you don't really think about it. So you're very competent at walking, but you're very unconscious about it. You're not thinking about it. But the thing about running and taking the deep breaths and the stuff I've been talking about the last few weeks, I've been first of all, I wasn't very competent at it. As many of you know, when I started 10 months ago or 9 months ago, I couldn't run for 60 seconds. And now I'm out here running for an hour, which is just shocking, really. But the interesting thing is when you get the steps right, and you keep doing them and doing them and doing them, you soon become pretty competent at doing it, but you're still real conscious of it. And so this morning, for the first time on the hills, my breathing was really competent. You know, I was breathing exactly right. And for the very, very first time, I didn't really have to think about it. Now, I can't say I'm permanently competent at it, but or permanently unconscious about it, because I was fairly conscious about it. But and that is the great thing about behavior, is that when you get it changed, you can do some absolutely amazing things. And the most amazing thing is the change that the Holy Spirit can bring inside you, because we've just finished reading this devotional series called Self-Help is No Help. You know, if you're a Christian, you've got something inside you that can make massive, massive change. So go get it and make it happen. So this is the motivation section for Saturday, the 15th of September. You have to forgive me, I'm still having my post-race coffee. Um, so I talked in the fitness section about running my fastest time ever by a long, long margin, which is absolutely amazing. And but I got to tell you, the Life Church series with Craig Groeschel that they're going. It's a 4-week series called Mastermind, and I'll try to put the link into it on the webpage for this because it's just absolutely amazing. And this dives into the motivation in a big, huge way. Essentially, it's talking about how we think and rebuilding our neural pathways so that we can think about being better, doing better. I have been on a major campaign for a long time to rebuild how I'm thinking about my weight, about the ability to exercise. So this morning, I finished number 5 in my age group, which probably is actually a big deal because they're probably only 6. So, but so I'm not delusional here. Don't get me wrong. And the real runners are finishing like 16 or 17 minutes, so I had a long way to go. But it is weird being up with real runners. But this motivation bit is all about how you think. And get the series, go through it, look at it, because we've talked about some good stuff this week. And make this new way of thinking something that you're not conscious of and you're really competent at. So we want to end the week thinking about unconscious competence. Have an awesome weekend.